Have you ever wondered how fish are able to breathe underwater? Considering that we humans need air to breathe, it's kind of mind-boggling that there are so many animals that can get all of their oxygen from water. And it's not just fish. Lots of aquatic animals breathe underwater, including some species of amphibians, mollusks like squids and clams, and even some mammals like whales and dolphins. But if you've ever taken a deep breath underwater, you know there's not much oxygen to go around down there. So how do aquatic animals get enough of this vital gas? The answer lies in these strange, thin, feathery structures called gills. Gills are outgrowths of the skin, much like limbs or fins, and they're primarily made up of two different kinds of cells. Some of them, called epithelial cells, are very thin and flat, and they contain sacs full of blood vessels. Other cells, called pillar cells, provide support for the gill and also help move water over the gill filaments. Now, gills come in all shapes and sizes depending on the species. For example, some fish have one set of paired gills, while others have several. Some are small and rounded, while others are long and feathery. But no matter what the specific form looks like, all gills have a lot of surface area for gas exchange. This happens thanks to diffusion, the same process that causes odors to spread through a room or perfume to waft down a hallway, like those scent molecules. Oxygen and carbon dioxide will move from an area where there's a lot of it to an area where there's less of it. In the case of the fish's gills, they're surrounded by blood vessels, which carry oxygen-poor blood from around the body to the gills. Since there's more oxygen in the water than in the blood, the oxygen molecules naturally diffuse across the gill filaments and into the bloodstream. At the same time, carbon dioxide in the blood diffuses out of the bloodstream and into the water. And because water doesn't contain as much carbon dioxide as blood, this exchange actually results in the water becoming slightly oversaturated with carbon dioxide. But that's not a problem for most aquatic animals, since they do unuse up much of the oxygen that they find in the water. However, the dissolved oxygen in water isn't just given to the fish. In fact, almost all of it comes from the atmosphere. Tiny oxygen molecules are constantly diffusing from the air into the water. But that means the surface of the water is usually where the oxygen concentration is highest. So as a result, fish tend to have their gills on the sides of their heads, which helps maximize the amount of oxygen they absorb. That's why it's so hard for fish to breathe when they out of water, because without that large surface area of water to diffuse oxygen into their blood, most fish suffocate pretty quickly. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule in nature. A few species of fish can gulp air directly from the surface. And some can basically hold their breath for really long periods of time by slowing their metabolism down to extremely low levels. But in general, fish need water to breathe, just like we need air. So it takes a specially adapted structure like gills to get the job done. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to help us make more videos like this one, you can join our community on a crowdfunding platform.